chaos of life, where paths diverge, seeking peace, not just in the dark or the light. Heavenly Father, hear our humble cry. Guide us through the storm, show us the sky. Loud voices, conflicting views, hearts that break, yet in the midst we yearn to make a quiet mind in the loudest din. Listen for your voice, Lord, please begin. Dear Heavenly Father, hear our plea. In this world of confusion, help us see. Quiet our minds, open our eyes to your still small voice, Lord, let it rise. In the silence we find our way. With every heartbeat we choose to stay, holding on to faith as the shadows sway. Your love surrounds us, night turns to day. Let the worries fade like whispers in the wind. In your gentle grace our soul begin to mend. Together we'll rise, hand in hand, side by side, with a heart full of hope. In you we confide. Deception and schemes, they seek to divide, but deep inside we long to unite. Lord, show us beyond the lies we see. Help us find the truth, set us free. Loud voices, conflicting views, hearts that break, yet in the mist we yearn to make a quiet mind in the loudest din. Listen for your voice, Lord, please begin. Dear Heavenly Father,
hear our plea.
In this world of confusion,
help us see.
Quiet our minds, open our eyes to your still small voice, Lord, let it hear. Heavenly Father,
hear our plea.
In this world of confusion,
help us see.
Quiet our minds, open our eyes to your still small voice, Lord, let it rise. I stood at the gates with nothing to bring, no medals to wear, no songs left to sing, no list of good deeds I could hold in my hand, just a lifetime of trying to understand. St. Peter looked kindly and asked me why. I thought for a moment, then lifted my eyes. The man in the middle said I could come. The man in the middle said I belong. Not because I earned it, not because I won. The man in the middle said I could come. I remembered my failures, remembered my fears, the mistakes and regrets I carried for years. The times I stumbled, the times I fell, the prayers I whispered when life wasn't well. And then I remember the promise he made. and all of my worries just faded away. The man in the middle said I could come. The man in the middle said I belong. Not because I earned it, not because I won. The man in the middle said I could come. He hung between two broken men, showing mercy right until the end. One turned away, one chose to believe, and grace was all he'd ever need. The man in the middle said I could come. The man in the middle said I belong. No crown of glory, no perfect song, just faith in the one who carried me along. The man in the middle said I could come. The man in the middle said I belong. No crown of glory, no perfect song, just faith in the one who carried me along. The man in the middle said I could come. The man in the middle said I belong. Not because I earned it, not because I won. The man in the middle said I could come. And if someday someone asks me, why are you here? I won't say, because I was good enough. I won't say, because I earned my place. I'll simply smile and say, the man in the middle said I could come. Well, grab a cup of coffee, pull up a chair, plant another mustard seed. Let's see what grows. Coffee's on, the day's begun. Somebody says, what if, just for fun? One talks history, one talks grace. One says, slow down, let's find our place. Round and round the stories roll, every heart, every soul. Laugh a little, shake your head. Half the things we've heard ain't dead. Questions fly, but no one's afraid. Truth gets brighter in the shade. One more seed, one more friend. That's where all the good things begin. Hey, hey! Welcome to the co-op of insanity. Plant another mustard seed. Watch what faith can be. Laugh together, learn together. Love's our melody. Everybody's family. The co-op of insanity. Hey! Some found hope where dreams had died. Some found peace they couldn't hide. Some found Jesus strong and true. Some found friends to see them through. But around this table, hand in hand, we keep building what will stand. Shoulder strong when life gets rough. Love reminds us we're enough. One more prayer, one more smile, makes the journey worth the while. Hey, welcome to the co-op of insanity. Plant another mustard seed, watch what faith can be. Laugh together, learn together, love's our melody. Everybody's family, the co-op of insanity. We don't have to know it all. Sometimes faith's a simple call. Lift somebody when they're low. Share the light you've come to know. Every answer starts with one. Another day beneath the sun. Truth may stretch us, make us see. That's how hearts are set free. Plant another seed. Yeah, you never know what tomorrow brings. Plant another seed. Love can grow the smallest things. Plant another seed. Hey, plant another seed. Hey, plant another seed. Love can grow the smallest things. Hey, welcome to the co-op of insanity. Every heart's a mustard seed, growing like a family. Love together, grow together, that's our harmony. Thank the Lord for bringing us this crazy little family. Welcome to the co-op, where the laughter never ends. Welcome to the co-op, where strangers all become friends. One more story, one more smile, one more melody. Welcome to the co-op of insanity. Keep planting those mustard seeds. We'll save you a chair. We'll save you a chair. An ice cream cake, baby. I'm just letting myself be. Yeah. Well, today's been heavy, I'm not gonna lie. Too many thoughts rolling through my mind. So I grabbed my pipe, took a look around, and told all my worries, y'all can settle down. I ain't running, I ain't hiding, I just need a little room. Sometimes peace shows up quietly and chases out the gloom. There ain't no emergency, ain't no race. Sometimes you just need a little bit of space. It's an ice cream cake kind of day. Let the heavy drift away. Take a breath, take it slow. Ain't nowhere I gotta go. The world's gonna spin with or without me. I'm just gonna sit right here and let myself be. People ask me, Smoke Prophet, what's the plan? I say, brother, I'm just one old man. Read a little scripture, watch the clouds roll by. Thank the Lord above for another sunrise. I ain't looking for all the answers, I ain't chasing what's out of reach. Sometimes the quiet says a whole lot more than words can never teach. It's an ice cream cake kind of day. Let the heavy drift away. Take a breath, take it slow. Ain't nowhere I gotta go. The world's gonna spin with or without me. I'm just gonna sit right here and let myself be. Cream cake ain't hard to love, sweet vanilla drifting on the breeze above. I ain't trying to disappear, I'm just putting my worries in another gear. Life gets loud, that much is true, but I don't have to join in too. One deep breath and a little smile, and life gets lighter for a while. No sir, I ain't escaping, I ain't hiding from a thing. I'm just slowing down enough to hear the evening sing. The birds still chirp, the wind still blows. Funny how peace shows up when you let life go. It's an ice cream cake kind of day, sweet vanilla drifting my way. Take a breath, take it slow, ain't nowhere I gotta go. One old Marine with a grateful smile, just enjoying this a little while. The world can hurry if it wants to race. I'm gonna stay right here in my happy place. It's an ice cream cake kind of day. Well, that's better. Coffee's warm, the sky's looking good, and today's a whole lot lighter than it was an hour ago. That'll do just fine. That'll do just fine.
Good afternoon, everybody. I hope, I'm getting started late. Yeah, a lot later than usual. It's because during the night, sometime about 50 feet of my fence decided it had enough. And before I could sit down behind this here microphone, before I could see the first morning headline, I had to grab tools and start repairs. But that's life here on the farm. Things don't always break on your schedule, no matter how much you'd like them to. And the more I thought about it, the more I realized that's not just true on the farm. That's true in life too. We all wake up with plans, and sometimes God allows something unexpected to remind us that the work right in front of us comes first. So today we'll take a look at what's happening around the world, but maybe the lesson started a little closer to home. Fix the damn fence, then face the world. That's what I'm saying. So the top five issues going on in the world today. Number one, U.S.-Iran tensions escalate again. Biggest story remains the Middle East. President Trump announced a renewed U.S. naval blockade of the Iranian ports, and U.S. forces reportedly carried out another round of strikes on Iranian military targets last night. Iran has responded with missile and drone attacks, and the shipping through the Strait of Hormuz remains under intense pressure, pushing oil prices higher and raising concerns about global energy markets. But, I kind of see something else happening. I see one group of people over there that are wanting to make a deal, and then there's a whole other group of people over there, which I believe are not actually people over there. I believe that they are the control pushers from other locations, and they're the ones who are doing this missile stuff to keep this conflict going. Because there's two big factors everybody's got to keep into account. Number one, they don't want Trump to have a win, because if he's got a win, then that's not good for them, and it's definitely not good with the midterms coming up around the corner. So and then the other thing is that you know I'm not seeing any more reports coming out of Iran in regards to um, direct attacks unless they're coming from CENTCOM. I'm not seeing uh, the uh, the people posting like they used to do. So I think that something's going on with their internet over there or their communications over there, and I think something's going on with that. I'm not sure, but we'll find out. And then number two, we got immigration enforcement under renewed scrutiny, I guess you want to call it. All right. Uh, we got the shooting in Maine. New information continues to emerge about the incident. The case has gotten national attention with growing questions about how the operation was conducted and what policy or procedural changes, if any, may follow. This is the thing: you drive your vehicle at a federal officer, they're gonna fucking shoot you. It's that simple. All right. Yeah. I mean, think about it. They're supposed to just let you run them over. That's not gonna happen. All right. Congress focusing on the Federal Reserve and the economy. Now, that one's kind of an interesting one. Uh, Chairman of the Federal Reserve, Kevin Warsh, I think his last name is scheduled to testify before Congress today. Now, this is off a note that I wrote to myself um, this morning as I was going out the door. I don't know. Well, I did see a couple of brief things in my lineup of stuff, but I haven't heard any big major things yet. I know that they need to get rid of that one particular person that is kind of stonewalling a lot of things, and we'll see what direction that goes here soon enough. But investors are looking for clues about future interest rate policy changes in earnings, um, you know, coming in right now, and energy prices. They're reacting to what's going on there in Iran and the Middle East. It's kind of funny. You got all these countries that are at peace, and just you got a group of idiots who just want to keep this thing going longer and longer and longer. So the aftermath of Senator Lindsey Graham's death continues to reshape Washington. South Carolina's interim Senate appointment is now in place, while the political implication of Graham's passing continue to ripple through Congress. Questions remain about the committee leadership, impending legislation, and how his absence could affect foreign policy debates. Um, but I kind of think that people, I mean, after reading through her credentials yesterday, like we did, I'm thinking that it, this may not be a bad thing. I think that there's a positive side to this, and I'm not sure what it is yet. Maybe she's there to uh, restore faith in the Graham name. Quite possibly, but we'll have to wait and see what transpires. And then we got heat and wildfire concerns grow across all kinds of parts of the U.S. and Europe as well. You the heat continues across several regions, increasing wildfire risks and straining emergency services. Weather agencies are warning that prolonged high temperatures could affect infrastructure, um, agricultural plots, and public health throughout the week. As we know, our dear brother Ganja went to the hospital yesterday because he had a heat issue over there in the UK. They kept him overnight. I think he was calling. He was being paroled today, but I think that that 15 to 30 day psyche valve would probably do him some good. He'd probably use the air conditioning and the brake, but don't tell him I said that because I wouldn't want him to think that. Oh, hi, Fred. Hi, hi, hi. I just opened it up and seen the chat, and the first thing I see is him. Yeah, yeah. I have my notes up on the screen above. Sorry, but that's pretty much a little bit of a rundown. Oh, I do want to do this too. Today is uh, today is the 14th, I think. Right. I want to hit today. Let's hit today. Okay, so in 2019, July 14th, Smollett, in kill brackets, federal charges coming. Watch the news. These people are stupid. We remember when that Juicy Smollett, 34, a week to remember, Q. And it's only Tuesday. It's only Tuesday. So let's keep an eye on this week and see what goes on. Is this going to be a week to remember? Well, we'll see. We'll see. Fake news attacks only validate the message. Old guard threatened. Think size and scope of continual mainstream media attacks. Godfather 3 Q. 3432. Anonymous put this up, and this is um, photographs of the temple at Epstein Island there. Remember this? Epstein image. That's one of them. And then there's this one here, which is the two different secret entrances. Here's one entrance, and then so it's basically they would come out of there, and you'd think that that's like for an air conditioning thing, but I'm not so convinced of that. I'm just not. I have a hard time being convinced of a lot of things these days. And then you got this entrance in here as well, and it's a cabana style doors. Those aren't. It's not like there's some big secure door there or something like that. This is everyday usage kind of things, and it's pretty wide. And there's a lot of marks out there, and it looks like a lot of bleaching has gone on out there, but don't know. We don't know. We don't know nothing. This is the area I am really interested in. We have not one, but two tunnel bunker entrances, one of them leading under the flagpole / house. And then it's got that's the Google address of those images. This is not another 4-year election during the swamp. Does not simply refer to removal of all those corrupt in D.C. God wins. Q. And then we go here, and then we got Ghislaine Maxwell with guests. Here she is with a Rothschild. Left to right, Nathan Rothschild, Nefer Suviel, and Nick Rhodes, and Ghislaine Maxwell. We don't know who the two people are in the back. Attend the National Youth Orchestra of the United States of America reception uh, at the Royal Albert Hall, hosted by Ronald O. Perlman in in London. Coincidence, those mentioned in the past are now coming into the light. Think LDR, think that Linda Rothschild, think Gloria Vanderbilt, think Epstein, think you. The Great Awakening. And then how do you eliminate a liability? Where is Epstein being held? Reconcile. Do you believe in coincidences? Powerful people connected. Panic. You 3428, Ghislaine Maxwell. Follow the family, UK, US 1 and 2. Umbrella surveillance, leapfrog 1 through 4 in kill brackets. Points of contact. Leapfrog, points of contact. Open source, find. Ghislaine Maxwell with the Children's Benefit Gala. New York Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Children. Connect the dots, 3427. These people are sick. Hunters become the hunted. What's this? Video unavailable. That's kind of interesting. But it's a week to remember, and everything is kind of pointed towards. Well, this one here kind of goes. This one here kind of takes me to Pizzagate, to the sex trafficking, things like that. Side of it. Fake news attacks only validate the message. Old guard threatened. Think size and scope of continual mainstream media attacks going after Q and QAnon and so on and so forth, right? And then you got the Epstein things, the Great Awakening. So I'm thinking that quite possibly something's going to come out that's going to lead towards that. But that leads into this. For Nothing's Happening crew, for the No Arrests Are Being Made crew, for the Nothing Will Ever Change crew, here it is. FBI Director Cash Patel just dropped major numbers in the fight against child predators. I'll let Cash tell you himself.
How did you do this?
Well, Kaylee, as you know so well, and as you advocate so much for our youth, they're our most precious treasure. And we made it a priority to go after the villains and the terrorists and gangbangers that are targeting our kids. And what we did was we utilized intelligence-driven operations. We took 1,500 employees from the FBI in D.C. and put them in the field permanently, working with our state and local law enforcement partners. And we went after the worst of the worst. And those stats, while those stats are meaningful, and those stats are truly historic, just think about the 7,200 kids that we found that got to go home. Mm-hmm. Just think about the 3,400, actually, when you take the numbers for this year, we're at 3,400 child predators and traffickers arrested. That's up 99% from the best year Biden ever had. That means kids are being protected at levels that are simply unheard of. And that means this FBI, here's another thing. We didn't just do the physical work on the streets. We went to the cyber community and we dismantled 3 million pedophile accounts off the Tor network where these predators prey on our children and think they can hide from this FBI. They can't. We are going to the ends of the earth and the cyber realm to make sure our most precious commodity, kids, are safeguarded. And the numbers speak for themselves because the FBI are putting kids first.
Yeah, I call them our diamonds. That's what they are. And I want to ask you about this. There was a hostage situation, actually 2 this week.
Our diamonds. Our diamonds. And that's one of the main reasons why I grabbed this article was our diamonds. Now, what did we just learn about diamonds not long ago? What they were made from. Compressed ash. Takes about I think it takes like 2 weeks to incubate the ash and create the diamond, and a certain amount of poundage, pressure kind of thing needs to happen for that. It just seems kind of strange, doesn't it? Okay. Now, I've got to scroll down a little bit more because there are a couple down here that I'm going to miss if I do not. And one of them is okay. We covered that yesterday. Was that it? Um, that's Keeler. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and we'll start right here.
Tonight, we're taking you somewhere the cameras usually don't go. The Treasury Department's secret vault. And we found something that's never been seen before. Beautiful room.
Yep, and here is the Treasurer's Vault from 1863. And, Jesse, I can't let you pass the gate.
No?
Too much money in there, Jesse.
Okay.
Too much.
All right, you don't trust me.
Well, it's not you. It's not you.
I've heard that before.
Yeah, exactly.
And so what used to be in this vault, or what's in this vault now?
Well, I can't tell you what's in there now, but Americans used to come and cash their checks here.
That's where they came here?
Yeah, or banks could present and get greenbacks. Solomon Chase, who was the treasurer or Treasury Secretary during the Civil War, created the greenback. States used to have their own money, banks used to issue their own money, and he consolidated it into the greenback so people could swap for greenbacks here.
Were there silver coins? Were there gold coins? Were there certificates?
All of the above.
Okay.
And we still have all those, but now most people use currency.
I hear there might be a new brand of currency around the corner.
Well, it's same currency, just different series.
And it's going to look different.
Well, it's gonna have one big change on it. For the 250th, the president's signature is going to be on it for the first time. So I think it's fitting. Donald Trump is president during our 250th anniversary, so it'll be the president's signature and my signature on it.
Let's go take a look.
Let's go take a look.
Dollar bills.
Jesse, welcome to the Treasurer's office. It's when we have 3 museum offices in Treasury, and this is one of them.
This is a beautiful office with a great view of the new big, beautiful ballroom.
It's big and it's beautiful.
It's almost finished.
It's going fast, going fast.
Donald Trump's signature will be on a $100 bill.
Well, it's going to be on all the currency for the 250th.
Everything.
Yes. So that as Treasury Secretary, I only have 2 mandates. The currency has to say "In God We Trust" somewhere on it, and there cannot be a image of a living person, but we have the president's signature, which again, I think it is appropriate for the 250th. During the 150th, there was a Calvin Coolidge coin, so we can put living people's images on a coin. The president's also going to have a coin coming out with his image on it. We could put your image on it.
Let's not get carried away.
Well, people might hoard. People might hoard it. So
my family, and that's it. Can I see the president's signature?
Yeah. So here's the sheets of hundreds, hot off the presses. Watch out! Don't smudge it. Don't smudge it. So what'll happen? They're printed here in D.C. or Dallas. Then they go to the Federal Reserve, and the serial numbers are all registered at the Fed. And then the Fed starts sending them out into the banking system. So this fall, that these with the president's signature will be available.
When liberals see the signature, are they going to light it on fire?
Well, yeah, that's good for the U.S. government when they do it. So, their hair's on fire, so they should keep the currency away from their hair.
I see the president's signature is probably the smallest he's ever written anything.
Yet, well, you have to do your signature in a box, and there's trouble keeping it inside the lines.
Okay. Did he use a Sharpie?
He used a miniature Sharpie.
A mini Sharpie.
A mini Sharpie.
Got it. And this doesn't cost any more money to the taxpayers to put his signature on?
Absolutely not. Absolutely. We rotate the currency always, so nothing extra to the taxpayer. And there's something called seniorage. So we put out currency, and people take it. We take in cash, and then we collect interest on the cash. So the more cash that people in the U.S. or around the world are willing to hold, then better it is for our budget. And I think people are going to want to hold the president's signature.
I am, for sure. Do you carry around a lot of cash? I mean, now, in your personal life.
I don't have a lot of cash anymore. I'm a public servant.
Poor Scott Besson. You've seen the rise of communism. They say that they could make things more affordable. You think that's possible?
Well, they make it more affordable by making people worse off. And look, things are very cheap in Cuba. Things are very cheap in Venezuela because nobody has any money. I think the money supply in Venezuela that went down 90-something%. So you can level things off and make everyone destitute, which is, this is like a Bolshevik revolution again.
The president said, I could be the best communist. I could promise everything for free rent, free food.
Yep. And the shelves will be empty. Like I remember I went to Russia right after the wall came down and the Soviet Union fell apart, and it was just destitution, nothing there. So there's a choice, and I think the American people, there's a small vocal group, and I think the American people are going to push back.
Mr. Secretary, thank you so much. Everyone's very excited about the new bills with the president's signature on it. Could I take a sheet home?
You can write a check. You can write a check.
Johnny, where's my checkbook?
What would Johnny be doing with your checkbook there, tough guy? Yeah. Just saying. Yeah. And Trump had this to say to Caitlin Collins yesterday.
And then you read fake news like your network, CNN, which is fake news. You read them, you have them say, well, actually, aren't they doing quite well? Let me just tell you, they have now inflation of over 300%. 4 months ago, they had inflation of 5%. Now they're at over 300, could be 350%. They made a deal, they broke it, probably 10 times. And they killed a lot of people. They killed our people. But the protesters, what they've done to the protesters, 52,000. Have you ever seen any of the burial lots where they're burying the protesters? They killed 52,000 protesters. And on my watch, they can't do any of that. So we have them in a position that they don't have any military. There's not a thing they can do about it. All they have is fake news, because they have the fake news, would rather see us lose the war than win the war, which is really treasonous in a certain way. So we're doing another very major attack tonight. They want to make a deal. They came back. We made a deal 2 days ago, and they want to make a deal. They've been negotiating for 47 years, but nobody's ever hit them militarily. We're hitting them very hard. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting how that happens, right? And then this guy.
Know what your case is.
The Brunson case, I'm suing 387 defendants, including Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Mike Pence, and 384 others for violating their oath of office. I got it to the Supreme Court. It was we got it in the federal court. I wasn't even supposed to be in federal court, but they allowed me to do it, and it's moved. It's all about the 2020 election, where they violated their oath by not investigating the mountain of evidence that they had concerning fraudulent voting in the 2020 election.
And what was your question, sir? What you were asking?
The Solicitor General, it looks, Lloyd, like it would be an opportunity for real action, the godlike action that we should have in this process.
Yes, the U.S. Solicitor General, when mine went to the Supreme Court, the U.S. Solicitor General, who was in charge of the defendants, was a Democrat. Now we have Trump's number one attorney that would support it, and he can get me a conference and he can help us move forward. And Trump wants it to move forward. The U.S. Solicitor General is working for President Trump. I'm sure he's going to want to bring justice to the court, and that's his job. Defending the defendants. It's not about the defendants. It's about bringing justice to the court, and he can do that.
This is amazing. Can you show everybody the book?
Oh, sure. Here's my Constitution book that I use concepts from in the lawsuit. And so this is the first publication ever to prove clearly that socialism is unconstitutional. Plus, it shows there's an interpretation clause in the Constitution that demands that the Constitution only be interpreted in ways that protect our God-given and inalienable rights. And it also has Q&A covering much more than that in the back.
And I love the back of it.
Okay, the back we're right
Very
there.
nice.
Our commander-in-chief and I just got a nice letter from him. I sent him one saying it was a wonderful gift, and I hope to be talking to him again soon about getting it to every home in America, which is my trademark.
This is fantastic. And now I am going to get a personal signed
Yes, you are. Absolutely.
copy of the
Yes,
book.
you are. This is yours right now, and I'm going to sign it right now.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yes. Good.
So that is an update. Things are going to be heard. And then, let's see. Here we go.
To the 2020 election and potentially sow doubt in the upcoming midterms.
Excellent.
A new White House task.
Let me pause that because I want to go down here. I think that there's another guy that I shared as well, but I didn't end up covering it yesterday just because of the fact of the amount of time that we had available. And I didn't want to get hung up on covering his. Nope, I'm not seeing it. So there's a lot of speculation in regards to this speech tomorrow night. And it's kind of interesting to watch these SOBs squirm. It really is. Here we go.
To the 2020 election and potentially sow doubt in the upcoming midterms. A new White House task force is expected to begin releasing documents on alleged and so far absolutely baseless evidence of election irregularities in the coming weeks. That is according to two officials with knowledge of the matter. An acting director of national intelligence, Bill Pulte, will be a part of it. I'm going to guess to the 2020.
So it's yeah. So this is Stephanie Ruley. I have no idea how to say her name. So this is big, and is that what Trump's going to be talking about on Thursday night? I don't know. Is it far enough ahead of election time for it to matter? That's the second thing. So it's kind of crazy. And then the second one that I had was here we go.
Well, his silence is deafening, but it's not a big surprise. This is a guy who skipped the installation of a new archbishop of the Catholic Church in New York City. This is a guy who canceled the breakfast for the Puerto Rican Day Parade. This is a guy who wouldn't march in the Israeli Day Parade. This is a guy who left Little Italy, both Little Italies in New York City, off his tourist map, but he put Little Palestine in there. I don't know any New Yorkers who know anything about where Little Palestine is. So he has demonstrated that he has an antipathy for Jews and Christians in the city, one of the largest constituents in the city of New York. And it's very troubling. His speech on July 4th was totally anti-American. It was as if America was an evil place. It was very dark. It was very disturbing. And basically, he should be blessed to be the mayor of the city of New York in the greatest country in the world. So I'm not surprised, but it is very troubling.
Yeah, there you go. So Mondami's in focus now. The Trump trap. State of Serving put this one up. SCOTUS ruled to keep birthright citizenship, citing the 14th Amendment. That is Section 1. Using SCOTUS logic, if they are citing the 14th Amendment, the other sections in this amendment are big. Section 3 says disqualifies individuals from holding federal or state office if they previously swore an oath to support the Constitution and subsequently engaged in insurrection or rebellion. Section 4 validates the public debt of the United States, but prohibits the payment of any debts incurred in aid of insurrection or claims for the loss of enslaved people. Section 5 grants Congress the power to enforce the amendment's provisions through appropriate legislation. Now that Trump got SCOTUS on the 14th Amendment side, let's watch how Section 3 and possibly 4 falls into place. We'll see. We'll see. Department of War put this one out.
Hello to our partners across the defense industrial base. President Trump has set a clear vision for America to lead in technology and cybersecurity. Secretary Hegseth has echoed that call by directing the Department of War to aggressively support warfighter readiness, resilience, and lethality. In support of this call, across the department, we are transforming acquisitions, reducing barriers to entry for small businesses, and supercharging our defense industrial base. The Office of the CIO is also doing our part. Today, I'm announcing the immediate suspension of Phase 2 requirements for external third-party assessments under the Cybersecurity Maturity Model Certification, commonly known as CMMC. To be clear, Phase 1 self-assessment requirements remain firmly in place. I want to thank the forward-leaning companies that have already invested time and capital preparing for these third-party assessments. Your investments were not in vain. Every dollar you spent upgrading your digital defenses has made your enterprise more resilient and our nation stronger. We are cutting the cost of bureaucratic compliance, not the importance of cybersecurity. Your security is our security. Safeguarding covered defense information remains a non-negotiable legal requirement to deliver critical digital capabilities to our warfighters. To ensure we maintain robust security without the red tape, today we are establishing a CMMC reform task force, which will deliver its final recommendations to me within 60 days. Simultaneously, we're issuing an RFI to you, our industry partners. We want your direct feedback on how you will continue to support cybersecurity at your enterprise while you scale up production as part of the Arsenal of Freedom initiative. In the coming days, we will launch a Brilliant at the Basics cybersecurity campaign, where we will provide streamlined, practical guidance designed to reduce cyber risk to both your IT and your OT environments. We've worked hand in hand with experts and industry partners to distill these vital cybersecurity best practices into clear, actionable steps. Our goal is to empower small, disruptive businesses to protect their operations confidently without the burden of a massive compliance overhead. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth's vision for the Arsenal of Freedom depends entirely on rapidly delivering superior technology to the tactical edge. By removing prohibitive compliance costs and administrative barriers, we are unleashing innovative small and mid-sized businesses to build and deliver capabilities faster than ever before. Together, we will ensure we respond to President Trump and Secretary Hegseth's vision and deliver peace through technical strength. Thank you.
Yeah, so that came from our Department of War, cybersecurity, yeah. And then people about Flock.
According to a crowdsourcing map, this is a Flock camera. Well, it used to be. If you take a little bit of a closer look, you can tell it looks like it's been cut down. And the camera itself, it's nowhere to be found.
Growing distaste for Flock cameras is manifesting in Harris County two ways. Through public means.
Having Flock in Harris County makes us less safe. It puts all our county's residents' lives at risk of mass surveillance.
And vandalism.
That there was no rhyme or reason to where these cameras were placed. The county essentially allowed Flock to take over our streets by placing ALRPRs anywhere they pleased.
Eyewitness News has found at least half a dozen Flock cameras cut down across Harris County. Houston police saying so far no one has been arrested, but they are investigating. The destruction comes as county commissioners voted unanimously Thursday to amend their contract with Flock, not to restrict Flock, but to ensure the device is available for use countywide. The cameras collect information and can be accessed by agencies who have contracts with the company, like law enforcement. Experts tell ABC 13 public distaste for the cameras is growing nationwide, along with concerns for mass surveillance, privacy, and data sharing.
For many in society, they're looking at what the negative unintended consequences may be if this information gets leaked or someone uses it and finds itself in the wrong hands.
Flock saying on their website they do not sell data to third parties and that all searches are recorded. According to Flock's website, their product is different from traditional security cameras. While security cameras capture an area, Flock says their system uses machine learning to take clear photos of license plates and store it with a physical description of the cars.
Really? Really now? Yeah. And then, let's see, it's checking. U.S. forces struck an underground missile storage facility at Iran's 4th Tactical Fighter base near Dezful using powerful bunker-busting munitions. A secondary fireball suggests stored propellants or fuel ignited. Yeah, that's quite a bit, and it looks like there's lots of secondaries going off. So yeah, so they probably hit a munitions dump there. So yeah, we'll see where it goes. And Trump said that they were going to hit him hard last night, and they did. That one's not important. Awakened Outlaw says, are you paying attention yet? Note the timing. Trump will address the nation Thursday, July 16th, and will reportedly speak about foreign influence helping steal the 2020 election in Georgia. Then the next day, Friday, July 17th, the fruits of the Fulton County, Georgia investigation that he's referring to as proof are due to be made public. Now, the new national security state spending bill is set for a cloture vote tomorrow, Tuesday, July 14th, which is expected to meet the 60-vote threshold with 7 to 8 Democrat crossovers. That's important because the Save America Act will now be included therein. From there, based on history, it's expected to take 1 to 2 weeks to reach a final vote on the bill. And since the Senate is in session for another month before its fall August recess, there's an additional 2-week cushion available to ensure it gets through. Remember, once we're past cloture, that only a simple majority is required to pass a bill, which we have. Oh, and just in time to be fully implemented before the November election. Yeah. So, yeah, it's interesting.
A result of his death, one of the things he talked about was he was the chairman of the Senate Budget Committee, and he was the one who handled 2 of those reconciliation bills, the One Big Beautiful Bill, and then recently $70 billion in funding for ICE and CBP after Democrats shut down DHS. He was working on a 3rd reconciliation bill that potentially maybe gets some elements of the Save America Act in it, but the senator is gone now. What happens to that potential 3rd bill, Senator?
Well, eventually we'll figure that out. We've got to move forward. Obviously right now we are all in the process of still processing and mourning Lindsey's loss. But certainly on that level, the Budget Committee chairmanship, he did it with great professionalism and ability to reach out and to work with everybody on our side of the aisle, many of whom have different opinions about how to deal with these big issues. But those were remarkable, consequential.
A result of his death, one of the things he talked about was he was the chairman of the Senate.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. So Joe M says, we will know when we see the flag on the casket. If it's wrinkled, then he was part of the plot, in which case he met the fate of John McCain. If, on the other hand, the flag is perfectly smoothly steamed, he was taken out by an enemy agent. In that case, we will understand why the escalation against Iran. The third option, that it was just a genuine heart attack, is BS. No way did a high-level senator with excellent medical care not know or be told or treated for or have fixed any heart issues. We will know. Be an astute observer. Yeah. So, yeah. So there's a lot there. And then Dan Scavino, with Donald Trump signing a.
And we have a lot of other very high representatives from Utah, at least mostly from Utah. And we're doing something very dramatic and very important for the people of Utah and the people of our country, because many people use it. We're terminating certain monuments. They call it monuments, not the ones we have outside, but these are large, thousands of acres. It's a total of almost 3 million acres. And we're going to be discussing it. But in fact, I think we'll start discussing it right now before I sign. After that, we're going to be signing 2 documents that are close to 1.5 million acres each. And Governor, do you want to say a few words about what we're doing and explain it to the press?
Yeah, well, thank you, Mr. President. This is a big day for Utah. The president did something very similar several years ago during his first term. Of course, the monuments were re-expanded under the past administration. And this matters to Utah. We believe that under the Antiquities Act, it's very clear that these monument designations are supposed to be the smallest area possible to protect the antiquities, and these multi-million acre monuments that are bigger than the state of Delaware certainly do not fit that designation. Now, we definitely care about protecting these antiquities, and will continue to do so. The problem is with these giant monument designations, there are no resources that come with those. We have 9 monuments in Utah. 7 of them are around 700 acres to 7,000 acres. That's what this was meant to be, not millions of acres as what happened with Grand Staircase Escalante and Bears Ears. And so we're grateful that the president has made a determination that we need to right-size these monuments. Again, this does not remove the other protections that already exist in those areas, just making the monuments more manageable so that we have the resources necessary to continue to protect these antiquities. I know we have the Deputy Secretary of the Department of Interior here with us. Kay, is there anything you'd like to add?
I'll just say the Antiquities Act is 120 years old, but the first monument that was created was only 1,200 acres. So if you think about it, since then, President Clinton, President Obama, and President Biden have increased the acreage in the state of Utah and locked those acres up. Over 3 million acres.
For nobody to use, right? You can't do anything. You can't go hunting. You can't go fishing. You can't do anything. You can virtually not even walk on it.
That's exactly right, sir. So you were remedying that today.
I remember. No, I do remember. I have a great memory.
And Mr. President, I know Senator
And this
Lee's
is actually better than the first time.
It is better. Yeah, Senator Lee's been very involved, I know, in conversing with you.
Good. That's true. Mike, go ahead.
Smallest area compatible with the objects to be protected. That's always been the standard under the Antiquities Act. President Biden, President Clinton, and President Obama overlooked that standard. President Trump is fixing it today.
Thanks, Mike. You had something to say. I thought that was very important.
Celeste.
Well, I think it's worth noting for the press in the room that both of these monuments were created over the unanimous opposition of Utah's federal delegation, our governors, the county commissioners, the locals who are worried about losing multiple uses on these federal lands. And we're standing here with the governor, the speaker of the Utah House, the entire Utah federal delegation supporting a president listening to the people of Utah and saying, we know you value this land, you want it used for multiple use and not locked up. And so this is a very different process than how the monuments were created.
Well, they took the land away from the people, quite honestly. It was ridiculous. And I remember Orrin Hatch, before he passed away, he was a great guy. He was a friend of mine, and he felt so strongly about this. And we signed, and then they terminated it after they got in office, which was crazy. And we're putting it back, but we're actually giving more than we did the first time back to the people of Utah. Please, go ahead.
Couldn't have said it better than Representative.
May I point
Yes,
something out?
please.
I think people don't understand Utah is over 2/3 owned by the federal government. These counties where these monuments are at are over 90% federal land. When people make decisions about this 2,000 miles away, you can see how that steps on the local people who only control about 5 or 10% of the land with local government. So not only do you have all these dynamics, you have an economy. You can't pave roads, you can't build schools, you can't pay fire people, police department because of this dynamic of 95% federal lands. The other part of that is Utahns will tell you they love these lands. They manage them better than people 2,000 miles away. So if this is about good management, it really should be done in Utah by people who have demonstrated over decades and decades and decades and generations that they're good managers of this land.
Great job, well said. Anybody? No? You're leaving? I can't believe it.
Very, very excited.
I can't believe it. You're excited? Where are you going from here?
Well, can I say this first of all? We sat down with the previous administration and said, then we'll just work this out. So we don't have to keep going back and forth. Just work with us. And we promised if we didn't, that once we have the power, we're going to make sure that the people's voices are heard. So thank you for helping us keep our promise. And unfortunately, the last administration did not understand that this would happen one day. So thank you so much.
Great honor. Let's sign. This is very nice. I'm very happy about this. And better than the first time. Okay, here's number one. Okay, number two. Here you go, Bill. Thank you. Almost 3 million acres. Going to be well taken care of now. Okay. Penn, who should I give this to? Huh? Maybe the governor's representative, right? And Mike, how about taking one, right? Thank you. So we've done something that was, I think, very desperately needed. It was very unfair to the people of Utah. And now fairness has been brought back. It's going to be better taken care of. And they'll be able to use it a little bit. So there's something very nice about that. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you.
Any questions about this, first of all, most importantly? Anybody want to talk about this?
I've got
Yeah,
one
Jeff,
on
go
Iran.
ahead.
I've got one on Iran too, but I'll start with this. Just you said that 70% of the land was federal. Was there any other way to turn this around? How is it that I guess my question is how did it get there if it's a state?
Go ahead. You want to discuss that, please?
The land ownership is what it is, but under the Antiquities Act, 120 years ago, Congress made the decision to give presidents the power to designate by executive proclamation certain land as monument. It was supposed to be the smallest area compatible with the objects to be protected in connection with that. Now, initially, as the Deputy Secretary of the Interior explained a minute ago, that meant a few hundred, maybe 1,000 or 2 acres at the most. These are 3 million acres. As I explained to President Biden, that's 2 Delawares. It's been abused, and so it was done by executive action. President Trump is right-sizing it to bring it in compliance with what the law says.
And Mr. President, just on Iran, you have said now to Congress that we are back at war. How long do you expect this to take? And what's the legal basis?
Take what?
The war.
Well, I think it's going very fast. We've demolished their military. We're hitting them very hard. We had a deal yesterday or the day before yesterday. It was all done. And then they broke up that deal immediately because they found out there was something in the deal they didn't like. And they're wired differently, and we're not going to put up with it. We are just going forward. We're attacking them tonight. We're taking out all of their capability for anything having to do with the Strait, with the Hormuz Strait. And I think in the end, we will end up just controlling the whole thing. And what they're doing is being very foolish, very stupid, and they've treated people horribly. They've killed 52,000 protesters so far that we can determine. It might be more than that, but 52,000 protesters have been killed. And it's really a terrible situation.
Just
But
one
we'll
quick
have it
follow-up.
under control very quickly.
You
Yeah.
mentioned that you're gonna, just one quick follow-up. You mentioned.
Wait a minute, wait.
You're gonna, just hold on one second.
Wait, Jeff.
I'm sorry, I was
Be
just
nice.
gonna ask the
Be
follow-up.
nice, Jeff. Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Mr.
I
President.
have to
On
teach
your-
him to be nice.
Thank you, Mr. President. On your presidency, so a lot of us here actually witnessed a miracle 2 years ago today as we were on the ground covering your rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. And you
Right.
said a lot of times that you believe that God has saved your life. Has there been a moment throughout your presidency so far where you thought, this is why God kept you here?
Well, we're doing a lot. You know, we have a country that I use the expression "Make America Great Again," and we've done far more than anyone thought possible, including maybe even me. We've done things that are unreal. At $19.2 trillion, the money being invested in our country is more than any country has ever had by many times. We have trillions of dollars coming in because of the tariffs and the proper use of tariffs, because of all of the things. I think because of the election, November 5th was a very important day. When you look at the military, we have the strongest military in the world. We rebuilt it largely during my first term, and we have recruitment now. We're setting records in recruitment. We had, if you go back to the campaign when I used to talk about it, the last administration, they couldn't recruit soldiers. We needed soldiers in every single branch of our military, and that included police and firemen. Nobody wanted to do anything having to do with the uniform in this country because they weren't proud of the country. And now the people are very, very proud to be an American. Our country is doing phenomenally well. We're respected all over the world. If I go, no matter where I go, we just got back from NATO, and I think you saw the response. It was like a very beautiful thing, actually. It was a total response, totally positive response. No matter where we go, we're respected again, maybe respected more than ever before. So I appreciate the question, but that's pretty much it.
Mr. President, thank you. Cameron Arkin with Town Hall. I was curious about our reports about Iranian drones in Cuba. There are concerns about that. Where does the relationship with the U.S. stand there? Is military intervention still on the table there?
Well, if they do have that, and they might very well have that, we'll take care of it. Mark is just in the other room. And if they do have that, we'll take care of it in short order. We're not going to have a problem. We're not going to allow that to happen. So it could be that they're storing some. We're looking into it now. It could be so, and it maybe isn't. But we'll figure it out fast.
And what are you expected to speak about on Thursday evening?
I'm going to speak on Thursday. We were thinking one of the nights, but this has been such a busy news day today with all that's happening. A lot of very positive things have happened, including the Indy. We're going to have an Indy race, as you know, in 41 days. And that's going to be incredible. Around the Capitol, around down Pennsylvania Avenue, it's going to be something. They have 250,000 tickets ordered. It'll be like UFC, which set every record in the book for that business, which is the business of fighting.
Very quickly, I just want to add to this that tickets are now available and they are free. So if you live there on the East Coast and can afford a little time away from home and got a little bit of money for gas, that would be a great and historic event to attend in DC. Again, the tickets are available and they are free. Free. Yeah. I didn't forget how to spell free. I was just giving people time to write it down in their minds. It takes a second, okay? It takes a second. We're not young anymore.
So we have the Indy cars coming, and it's going to be great. And while we're talking, I have to pay on behalf of Mike and myself, and I think everybody's standing behind me very strongly. I want to pay my respects to Lindsey, who was our friend. He was a friend of all of us. He was a great guy. He was a great politician, actually. And it's hard to believe he's gone. He spoke to me just before he passed away, just to say hello. He got back. He felt fine. He was a little tired. And then this whole thing happened. And it's tough. So the flags are at half mast until Saturday evening. which is an extended period of time, generally speaking, but I think he deserves it. And he's a fantastic person. He was a fantastic man. He was actually a great politician. He got along with almost everybody. And when he didn't get along, they knew it. He was tough, but he was a good man. He was very much in favor of the Save America Act. He told me about that. We were talking about that and some other things, but he just felt tired, but he felt fine. And then this horrible thing happened just a short time afterwards. So it was terrible. I just want to pay our respects.
Mr. President, you mentioned that Iran has agreed to a deal and then walked away from it. Have you reached the conclusion that a negotiated settlement won't be able to happen?
No, I never reached that conclusion, but we're hitting them very heavy tonight, as you know. We're hitting them. We have tremendous amounts of ammunition. We have numbers that we haven't had in years, and we're hitting them very hard, and it'll continue, and we'll see what happens. But we're knocking out all of their offensive capability, and we're controlling the straits. We're putting the blockade back, and it's a blockade not for anybody but Iran. In other words,
Okay, I want to rewind it here just a second, and I want you to listen to this line.
he was a fantastic man. He was actually a great politician. He got along with almost everybody, and when he didn't get along, they knew it. He was tough, but he was a good man. He was very much in favor of the Save America Act. He told me about that. We were talking about that and some other things, but he just felt tired, but he felt fine.
Okay, now we're going to go into Iran.
This thing happened just a short time afterwards, so it was terrible. I just want to pay our respects.
Mr. President, you mentioned that Iran has agreed to a deal and then walked away from it. Have you reached the conclusion that a negotiated settlement won't be able to happen?
No, I never
Okay, so this coming up line here.
reached that conclusion, but we're hitting them very heavy tonight, as you know. We're hitting them. We have tremendous amounts of ammunition. We have numbers that we haven't had in years.
We have numbers that we haven't had in years. Now, I'm thinking about just that particular part of his statement that we see, maybe I'm reading a little too far into it. Being an artilleryman, numbers were very important. Numbers were very important, whether it was for 195s, 198s, or self-propelled howitzers, or with 777s. Each required a different specifications. Their nomenclature is different. So when I hear we have numbers that we haven't had in years, is he talking about numbers as in quantity of arms, or is he talking about numbers that were considered outdated because of new technologies? Because the bunker buster that they used on Iraq or on Iran last night, that's an old model. That's an old model bunker buster, which it carries additional incendiary in order to make sure that after it breaks the bunker, it is continuing to do damage deeper. And I know that they have some newer armaments that are like, but not with the impact. And so it tells me that they're using something that's about 20 years old, 22, maybe 23 years old, for this bunker busting that they're doing, where they're, gaining access to all these tunnels where missiles, drones, and other materials are being kept. So I'm just curious if that's what he means by that statement. To me, it seemed the way that it's phrased like that, it made me stop and think as an artilleryman. This is a guy who's worked with detonators and of all types and about every type of artillery shell and powder in existence since the 50s. So because I got to mess with old cannons, I got to mess with everything from potato guns all the way through the 777s. So it just tells me that there might be something more to his statement in regards to that it was the numbers we have not seen in years. And to me, that bunker buster was something different. Could be something. No, I never had a Moab. I did have one where we took out a building. And there was absolutely nothing left of the building. It was empty. It was empty. The building was empty. We were told that the building was being evacuated, and there were absolutely no injuries during that. But it took out their entire computer center and data center completely. So yeah, there wasn't even any salvageable evidence by the time we got done. it was bad.
No, I never reach that conclusion, but we're hitting them very heavy tonight, as you know. We're hitting them. We have tremendous amounts of ammunition. We have numbers that we haven't had in years, and we're hitting them very hard, and it'll continue. And we'll see what happens, but we're knocking out all of their offensive capability, and we're controlling the straits. We're putting the blockade back, and it's a blockade not for anybody but Iran. In other words, anybody doing business with Iran can't go through. Everyone else will be able to go through. So it's a blockade. It's a very strong blockade. The blockade was probably more effective even than hitting them, but I think the combination is the thing that really does it.
But you think a deal is still possible? You think they'll return to?
Yeah, I think a deal is possible. Sure, I do.
But Mr. President, you noted the United States is bombing Iran again. I mean, you've been bombing Iran for months now. Is this just the new normal for the American people?
Well, we're in Vietnam for 19 years. We're here for 4 months. So I think we've done a lot. We've knocked out their Navy in a period of 1 month. We knocked out their Air Force. Their Air Force is non-existent. We knocked out most of their missiles, most of their drones. We knocked out their drone manufacturing capability, about 92%. Their missile capability for manufacturing, we knocked out 89%. And they have a little capability, but they don't have any capability for us. This is almost a military skirmish. Now, with all of that being said, you have to get people that want to make something. We had a deal with them 2 days ago, and then they said, oh, we can't make that deal. We have to negotiate it further. And this is what they've done for 47 years. The difference is nobody negotiated like I do. And this should have been done by Bush and Obama and Biden and people before them, frankly. It's 47 years they've been ripping off everybody and really hurting and killing thousands of people. So they killed 52,000 protesters, but they killed many, many people with Soleimani, who I killed in the first term. Soleimani killed many people, many people, and not only killed. When you see a young former soldier walking around with no legs, no arms, a face that's been horribly hurt, that was done by Iran. That was done by Soleimani. He was a person that was very evil. He was an evil genius. He was looking to take out a lot of our military installations in Iraq and Iran. And I got him before he got us. So we have to do what we're doing. And the strait is open. It will be open. We've cut down their capability very substantially, but they're going to fight for a while. Our military has done a fantastic job. And the bottom line, though, and I say it to everybody, and I say it as much as they want to listen, Iran will not have a nuclear weapon. If we didn't bomb them with the B-2 bombers, that plane right there, if we didn't bomb them, they would have had a nuclear weapon long ago. Within 1 month from the day we bombed them, they would have had, if we didn't do it, they would have had a nuclear weapon. If they had a nuclear weapon, Israel would no longer be with us. And the Middle East probably would no longer be with us, because you saw they sent missiles to 5 different countries that never even knew they were involved, because they're stone cold crazy. They are crazy. And we're not going to put it up. Yeah, I want to be reimbursed because we're protecting a very rich portion of the world. We're spending money. And so what we've done is we are going to be reimbursed for protection. We're protecting by the countries that we're helping. For instance, you look at the 5 countries. You have Saudi Arabia, you have UAE, you have Qatar, or Qatar as I always say, you have Qatar, Bahrain, and by the way, you have others. You have Kuwait, and you have others, and they will do very well. But we think it's appropriate that we don't need them. You know, we have more oil than any other country in the world. When you add Venezuela, which has been amazing, which has tremendous amounts of oil that we control, when you add Venezuela and everything else, we have more than 50% of the world's supply. We don't need it, but we need it from the standpoint of protecting allies, et cetera, including Israel, including Saudi Arabia, including Qatar, including UAE. We're protecting all of them, and we've done a very effective job. So 4 months ago, these people had military that was very strong, by far the strongest probably in the Middle East. They were called the bully of the Middle East. Now they don't have a Navy. They have 159 ships underwater. They had a total of 159 ships. Now every one of them is underwater. They had 230 airplanes, attack planes. They're all gone. They're gone. They had tremendous radar. It's all gone. They had tremendous anti-aircraft. It's all gone. Sadly, their leadership is all gone. They had their first-tier leaders are all dead. Their second-tier leaders are all dead. Their third-tier leaders, who we're dealing with, more or less, some of them are already gone. And then you read fake news like your network, CNN, which is fake news. You read them, you have them say, well, actually, aren't they doing quite well? Let me just tell you, they have now inflation of over 300%. 4 months ago, they had inflation of 5%. Now they're at over 300, could be 350%. Inflation of 5%. They broke it probably 10 times. And they killed a lot of people. They killed our people. But the protesters, what they've done to the protesters, 52,000. Have you ever seen any of the burial lots where they're burying the protesters? They killed 52,000 protesters. And on my watch, they can't do any of that. So we have them in a position that they don't have any military. There's not a thing they can do about it. All they have is fake news, because they have the fake news, would rather see us lose the war than win the war, which is really treasonous in a certain way. So we're doing another very major attack tonight. They want to make a deal. They came back. We made a deal 2 days ago, and they want to make a deal. They've been negotiating for 47 years, but nobody's ever hit them militarily. We're hitting them very hard. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you, press. Thank you, guys. Thank you, press. Thank you, press. Thank you. Thank you, press. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
All right. So that was yesterday afternoon. At the same time that was going on, this was going on.
Did Mondami, are you implying that Mondami might not have won in New York City, ma'am?
I'm not implying that. I'm stating there's so much evidence that Mamdani did not win based on the systematic vote failures and fraudulent treatment of the votes that I've documented, that others have documented. Brian O'Shea, my husband, tried to vote to show how porous the vote was with a fake name and a fake address. They gave him a permission slip essentially to do so. And on the back of it, there was a blank form that could be Xeroxed any number of times to put in any number of votes. And that's, not even close to how systematic the fraud is that Lulu Freistat uncovered here.
Did Mondami, are you implying that Mondami might not have won in New York City?
No, she's stating it. So there's that. Yeah. So, and then, okay, so then we got this. Traitor, MS-13 minority leader Chuck Schumer says, quiet part out loud, the only way we're going to overthrow the Constitutional Republic of the United States is by granting citizenship to tens of millions of illegal aliens we deliberately imported.
only way we're going to have a great future in America is if we welcome and embrace immigrants, the dreamers, and all of them, because our ultimate goal is to help the dreamers, but get a path to citizenship for all 11 million or however many undocumented there are here. Only way we're going to have a great future in America is if we welcome and embrace it.
Fuck you. Fuck you. It's that simple. True Stormy Joe says just a bit of odd pattern recognition. DJT's speech is 7/16/2026 is going to be the start of the 2020 election bombs. 7/16/1999 is the date of his close friend JFK Jr.'s reportedly plane crash. Q1083 speaks to DJT and JFK Jr.'s relationship, the crash, the start. It ends with As the World Turns. Today, a star from As the World Turns reportedly passed away. So let's go here. And it's so on July 16th, 1999, John F. Kennedy Jr. died when the light aircraft he was piloting crashed into the Atlantic Ocean off Martha's Vineyard, Massachusetts. Kennedy's wife, Caroline Bessette Kennedy, and her sister-in-law, Lauren Bessette, were also on board and died. The Piper Saratoga departed from New Jersey's Essex County Airport. Its intended route was along the coastline of Connecticut across Rhode Island Sound to Martha's Vineyard Airport. And then 1083 and 1082. 1082 says POTUS and JFK Jr. relationship, plane crash 1999, HRC Senate 2000, the start, enjoy the show, Q. And then it goes into 1083, SIG, let's see, SIG intercept, let's see, if I'm not mistaken, we weren't able to, were we able to pull, can we pull that document up? Let's see, oops, that's not where I wanted to go, but that works for now. Hashtag 1083. Let's go here and click here. And it says Freedom of Information Act Electronic Reading Room. So Nixon and the People's Republic of China, CIA support of historic 1972 presidential tip. See, current and Central Intelligence Bulletin Collection. Harry Truman was the first U.S. president to receive a daily intelligence digest. And then President Truman was pleased with the product. Then on January 2nd through the 30th of June 1961, the Kennedy administration confronted a full array of international issues. In 1961, in April, a group of CIA-trained Cuban exiles landed at the Bay of Pigs on the southern coast of Cuba with the goal of overthrowing the Fidel Castro regime and establishing an anti-communist government. The outnumbered invading force was quickly repelled by Castro's troops. The year's reports were dominated by worsening Congo crisis, with the fragmentation of the country widening despite the efforts of the United Nations and U.S. concern over the high tempo of Soviet testing of space vehicles and intercontinental ballistic missiles. The situation in Laos deteriorated as the communist Lao insurgency gained strength against the U.S.-backed Royal Lao government. And then, let's see. Yeah, interesting. Interesting. Old to new as the world turns. As the world turns. Yeah. All right. And then we got As the World Turns, Scott Bryce dead at 68. Possibly. White House put this out.
Donald was the young man who was going to conquer Manhattan. He takes chances that would make a less daring man shudder.
To think about the arc of where he's been in, it's like some sort of mythical story or something.
This sounds like political presidential talk to me.
Donald Trump seems to always get stronger when challenged.
My God, that guy's got resilience. Those who deal with you underestimate you, but they regret it.
It's always good to be underestimated. It is not about politics. It's about our love for this great country, America, and we're not going to let it fail. I will fight like no one has ever fought before.
Trump is the bodyguard of Western civilization.
You want to talk about a fighter, a walk through fire? He's an absolute savage.
He knows that this is much bigger than him. This is about the American people. They have no idea what they have unleashed. He was ready to go face the cameras and come out swinging.
What will future Americans say we did in our brief time here on Earth? It will be defined by your vision, your perseverance, and your grit. Nothing will sway us, nothing will slow us, and no one will ever stop us. We are Americans. Ambition is our heritage. Greatness is our birthright, and the future belongs to us.
Yeah. Put out by the White House. Yeah. And then here we go with Secretary Linda McMahon.
Now,
Education
I think I had
Secretary.
about 25 or 30 parents and young adults in my conference room not too long after I became secretary. And these were parents who now were looking, with remorse at their children who had gone through transgender. Some had changed their sex through surgery and had made those decisions when these children were really not capable yet of making those kind of adult decisions. One parent had told me about their child who committed suicide because they couldn't really deal with it. So these are heart-rending stories when you're sitting and listening to parents and to the children themselves. I think I had about 25 or 30 parents and young adults.
Yeah. So they are getting rid of any possibility that this can continue. And I think that that's important. Joe M says, what Anne Weidencombe said on a TV interview the day before she was killed was that the UK has a deep state within its government. An interesting side note, she was scheduled to do a live Zoom with a broadcaster, don't know who yet, who texted with her 20 minutes before the murder and knew that she was at her home. Maybe significant, maybe not. She was in favor of Brexit. She was a nationalist. She was an enemy to the globalist cabal. Rest in peace. And then, I'm not worried about that one. And then this, Batshit Bonkers Britain.
Breaking news here in Batshit Bonkers Britain, where people seem surprised to find that Devon and Cornwall police might be quite incompetent. That's despite the fact that Devon and Cornwall police for the longest time had 3 chief constables at a cost of about £70,000 a month to Devon and Cornwall taxpayers, because at any one time one of the chief constables was doing something that they shouldn't have been doing or bumming a colleague. And Devon and Cornwall police were last known for making an arrest of, oh yes, me, for calling myself a spaz online at my pub night, which they said was grossly offensive to myself. In other news, Shabana Mahmood is most distressed that Ijtima, a big Muslim gathering for about 12,000 Muslims together, has had to be cancelled early because of some protest from the far right or whatever. In Saudi, you're not allowed to have Ijtima because they recognise it was a precursor to terrorist activity. How curious that Saudi has clamped down on it, but over here, Shabana Mahmood is calling for more of it. And finally, good news if you're on benefits. Not only do you not have to work, not only can you apparently also get free childcare just so that you've got more time to spend taking the piss out of the taxpayer, but the hose pipe ban doesn't apply to you. I'm guessing because you don't work, so you haven't got any upper body physique, and so holding a watering can might be too testing for you. Either which way, good news if you're on benefits, and another two-fingered salute to the glorious British taxpayer. If you really want to get your knickers in a tryst, have a look at data centres and the use of water in data centres. About 50,000 homes worth per day per data centre. That's it, my darlings. Batshit bonkers, Britain. And yes, my hydrangeas are beautiful.
Oh, she is something else. Yep. And then Nick
Oh, look.
Freitas.
Oh, look, it's Democratic Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib telling a room full of Democratic Socialists of America just how horrible this country is, how all of our institutions are rooted in slavery, oppression, and rape. But then they promise that they're not going anywhere, which is confusing because why wouldn't you go anywhere else if that's what you really believed about this country? But in Rashida's case, why did you come in the first place? And why do you get so upset when people talk about denaturalizing and deporting you? We're simply just trying to get you out of this place you hate so much. Figured you'd be grateful.
Yep. Just saying. There's something to it. And then this one.
The other thing that we blocked yesterday was the SAVE Act, right? Which was literally allow this administration to rig our democracy so that it would be hard for any Democrat in any state to win any election. And disenfranchise all married women in the meantime, by the way. And just, you have to show your birth certificate at the polls if you have a married name. The other thing.
Oh. Elise, you're a piece of shit. Literally. Piece of crap. All right, I've got to get off of here. I'm hearing the generator hiccup, so that means it's going to turn off any minute. So I will see you guys after I get fuel. Yeah, that's going to be it for today. Once it starts hiccuping, it means I got maybe 5 minutes left. So I'll take you out with the song. Remember, God loves you, Jesus loves you, and I love you. And we'll see you guys again, next couple of days. Maybe not. In the meantime, keep your head on a swivel.
Woke up this morning to a world on fire. Everybody shouting, climbing walls of wire. Fear on the TV, lies across the screen. Hard to know these days what anything means. But I hear my Father's voice down in my soul. Stand up straight, don't let the darkness take control. Love your neighbor, hold the line, stay alive. Open up your eyes and let your spirit drive. Don't let the noise pull you under. Don't lose your heart in the thunder. Keep your head on a swivel, keep your eyes on the light. There's still love in the middle of the fight tonight. When the road gets narrow and the world feels cold, keep your heart wide open and never let go. Keep your head on a swivel, but your soul on the rise. There's a whole lot of beauty still left in these eyes. Yeah, the world may shake, but we're not gonna break. We were born for more than survival. Little old lady waving from a porch swing. Kids on the sidewalk still learning to dream. Somebody praying in the middle of pain. Somebody dancing in the pouring rain. There's still good people helping strangers stand, still working hard with calloused hands, still holding family, still holding faith, still finding hope when it all feels late. Don't let the fear define you. There's still a fire inside you. Keep your head on a swivel, keep your eyes on the light. There's still love in the middle of the fight tonight. When the road gets narrow and the world feels cold, keep your heart wide open and never let go. Keep your head on a swivel, but your soul on the rise. There's a whole lot of beauty still left in these eyes. Yeah, the world may shake, but we're not gonna break. We were born for more than survival. Oh, don't forget who you are. You were made from the dust and the stars. Oh, even when shadows fall, love is still the strongest thing of all. Keep your head on a swivel, don't lose your grace. Every scar tells a story, every soul has a place. And if somebody stumbles, you help them stand tall. That's the kind of strength that can heal us all. Keep your head on a swivel, keep your faith alive. There's still hope for tomorrow as long as we try. Yeah, the world may change, but love remains, and that's how we survive. Keep your head